Hello, I'd like to welcome you to Fixing Fathers Incorporated, one dad at a time. Fathers helping fathers to be better fathers. Now, this is a free video that I offered you guys. Thank you so much for signing up. The video is entitled Single Dads Not Singled Out, 10 Steps that Single Fathers Can Use to Maintain Their Relevance as Fathers. Now, I'd like to tell you a little bit about why I created this video. I was doing a presentation out in Las Vegas, and in the middle of probably around the fourth or fifth slide, a young father had asked me, because he broke up with his girl and he was living with his girl for like 3 years. Had contact, of course, with his daughter all during all of that time. Now that he has this sort of bi-weekly schedule where he sees his daughter, where he sees his daughter every other week, which is common, amongst fathers who are going through this type of thing, and you end up getting the bi-weekly schedule. I had it too. How could he stay relevant? That was his question. How can I stay relevant? I only see her on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. How can I stay relevant? And it's so funny because this question was a wonderful question. Sort of consumed the presentation. You know, um, I just kind of just let it go. Just let it go. I just let it. It just took a whole another turn where individuals were just adding stuff and asking and answering questions and trying to come up with things for this brother. And I thought that it would be wonderful, wonderful to pull, some of the things that I did when I was going through some of the things that I thought were important, and I see now, now that my sons are older and they've both graduated from college, but I just see now how imperative and how important these little things were at the time that I did. So I thought that I would share this stuff with you, and I have, like I said, 10 steps. By all means, there's like hundreds of things that you can do, but these are 10 steps that kind of worked for me and were lasting. So, let's just jump right into it. I want to thank you again, like I said, for signing up, and I hope you guys give me some feedback and let me know what you think. I would love to do this type of stuff, at least two times a month, if not three times a month, and just give you, I got some ideas on, on procrastination. I want to do a piece on child support. So, like I said, just let me know what you think. If you like it, please let me know because, like I said, I need that inspiration from you. This is basically just all about you, and just to give you the backstory. And I'll try not to keep these videos so long, but you got to remember, I'm passionate about this stuff. But the backstory is, I went through a horrendous divorce. I went through a horrible separation. I went through a horrible custody battle. And it was during my time down at the Bronx County Family Court that I made a vow that if I could get through this stuff, if God would get me through this stuff, I would devote my time. I would devote my time to helping fathers become better fathers, helping them to realize their importance, helping them to realize their relevance. I did my dissertation. I could have did my dissertation on anything, but I picked um, um, the topic of fatherhood. Why? Because it's important to me. Why? Because I'm passionate about it, and I just wanted to. I always relay that to individuals so that they understand why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this to make. There's not a lot of money in the fatherhood business, if you want to call it that. There's not a lot of money in it. It's not about the money. It's about the passion that I have when I help a dad. And I know that if I help a dad, if he takes some of these points home, right? Take some of these points home, that child's going to do a lot better. Take some of these points home, that child's going to be a lot better. And that's, to me, I smile and I laugh and I smile and I laugh because they have listened. I don't, everything that I say, I don't expect you to, oh, I'm going to do what David did. No, but if it makes sense, like, hey, like I said, let's jump right into it because I think my first point makes sense. That being, get to know your child's teacher. Now, you know, when my wife and I were together, um, this was something that I sort of fell short on. I'm gonna admit it. She would take care of the open school nights and getting to know the teachers, and then sort of give me the report back, and say, "Hey, David, little David's doing good. Jamal's doing okay. He's doing fine. Everything is good. Oh, David had a problem with English," and I never, ever, ever went to the open school nights. Now, when we ended up breaking up, you know, I felt as though, hey, I better get a little bit more involved. And one thing led to another, and I ended up going to the school, and I noticed that my name wasn't even down for, like, even for emergency. My name wasn't even there. I didn't even know who I was. So, if I can stress anything, it would be to make sure that your name is are on the records. Make sure you know who their English teacher is. Make sure you know who their math teacher is. Attend the open school nights. I mean, this shows your child that you are advocating for them. And in the back of their minds, let me tell you something. It is a beautiful thing to know that your dad is looking out for you, that he's there and he's looking out for you. So make sure that your name is on the roster. Make sure that they understand that you are involved. Teachers and your kids, they understand that there's a father that's involved. There's a father that cares. And I don't know that, I feel, personally, I feel that when fathers are involved as far as school is concerned, kids do better. And this is not something that I just made up. There's research that backs this up. When dads are involved, when dads um, um, get involved and are there meeting teachers, going over math homework, helping them with their English homework, letting them know that you are there for them, kids are going to do better in school. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Attend the special events, such as the sporting events, as well as the musical dance recitals. All of this stuff is important. There is nothing like seeing your dad. Nothing like seeing your dad in the stands. Let me tell you a quick story. My sons were in this bell choir, David and Jamal, and I'm going to tell you, it was one of, I'm telling you, back then, I mean, I could say it now. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was horrible. They both had these big bells and they ling a ling a ling ling ling. They played jingle bells. And it was horrible. It was like one of the worst things ever to sit through. But, and we can laugh at it now. We can laugh at it now. But one thing that they remember is that dad was there front and center each time. And it was extremely important for me to be there, and it's extremely important that they see me there. And we as fathers kind of downplay some of this stuff, but like I said, it is important for them to see, and they're looking around and they see you and they catch the eye and then they look off. They look off. They catch you and they look off. Believe me, they want to see you there, and you should make it your best bet to be there. We can take off for so many things. We can take off for so many things. Get our car done. Just so many little things that we can take off for. These are the things that you need to put on that to-do list in advance and make sure that you're there. Work hard at developing a working relationship with the mother of your child. Now, I know that a lot of dads might be going through stuff right now. They might be going through some stressful times and the arguing and the fighting, about child support, or about custody, or about, pickup times, or whatever it may be. But the end result is you have to see the picture. You have to keep in the back of your mind that eventually, and we'll get into this at another time, but eventually you're going to have to develop a working relationship with the mother of your child and make this thing work Working relationship equates to, most of the time, more time that you can have with your child. So I would just say that, like I said, I get it. I get it. I understand the fighting. That's all part of it. To be honest with you, it's all part of working your way to a working relationship. But don't let it consume the relationship. When I say don't let the fighting consume it, where you're to the point where any and every single time you see her, there's some sort of argument. You have to understand that at some point, you have to say to yourself, is this worth it? Is this fight worth it? If she's arguing with you about you're not picking the kids up on time, then you know what you need to do? You need to pick the kids up on time. It's real talk here. If that's the argument, I mean, you're not picking the kids up on time. You say you was going to be here at 8 o'clock. Then you know what? To eliminate the arguments, to do away with the arguments, be there at 8 o'clock. Be there at 7:30. Because it's really, like I said, it's really about you getting to a point where you guys can stop screaming at each other and start talking to each other. And a lot of times that ends up with more time that you're going to have, a lot less stress that you're going to have to deal with. Technology is wonderful. I absolutely love technology. I love Facebook. I love texting. But, you know, there was something that I would do with my sons that I thought was so special. And I would actually sit down and write them letters, not long letters, but just something that said, hey, son, I love you. We had a great time. I can't wait to see you next weekend. And, throw a little picture in there. And then, they get this mail. You know what I'm saying? Do you remember the first time that you got mail? I mean, I remember the first time I got mail. And it was just like, my mother was handing out the mail and whatever. She said, hey, David, I got something for you. Got something for you. So it's a wonderful thing. Kids eat this up. And it's something that would be, I would say it's something special that's between you and them. They can expect some mail, some actual snail mail. So think about it. Think about it. Something that I did that just, I thought that it just was something that my sons will always remember. And that's what we're all about. Dad's all about. We're in the memory business, creating those beautiful memories. Giving your child money, is great, but don't become a bank. You don't become a bank to your child. Thinking that $25 is worth more than tossing the ball back and forth. Because believe me, it's not. Um, um, Watching your kid ride a bike, teaching your kid how to ride a bike, throwing a ball back and forth, um, taking your son and your daughter to the library. These are things that cost nothing, but are priceless things that your children will never, ever, ever forget. We used to go to this place called the Sand Park, and till this day, my sons are older now, but they remember that. Do they remember when I gave them $25? I remember when I gave them $40. $10, 15. No, they don't remember. But these are the things that are lasting. So remember we went to the Sand Park. We used to go to that park and blah 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 blah. They remember these things. So we're in the memory creating business. That's who dads are. We create memories, beautiful memories. So that would be something that I would just stress to you, that it's not about all of this money that you're giving these kids. They're not gonna remember all of that, because they're gonna get money from other people all of their life. They're gonna get money. Money is gonna be an issue their whole life. But these memories of riding a bike, these memories of just being there, just hanging out with them, um, teaching them things, all of this stuff. These are the things that kids remember, things that are lasting. Number 6, when dropping your child off, hug them like there's no tomorrow. Like when I used to bring my kids back, I used to kiss my son on the forehead and I would hug them like there was no tomorrow. Why? Because I wasn't going to see them for a whole week, and I just felt like they needed I feel as far as there's nothing like a father's hug. There's just nothing like it. And um, there's just nothing like it. There's not much more I can say. You drop the kids off. There's nothing wrong with giving your son a hug. There's nothing wrong with giving your daughter a hug. There's nothing soft about it. It's a beautiful thing. And this leads me to number 7, saying the words "I love you." Now, a lot of times we as dads, we say, "Oh, all the stuff that I'm doing, they know I love them." No, no, they need to hear it. They need to hear it. And like I said, there's nothing soft about it, unmanly about it. This is a good thing. And this is something that we as dads need to do because, one, our kids need it. They need it now. They're going through the stress of this relationship that's not working out. They're going through the stress of stuff that's going on at school. They need to hear, "I love you." So why not just give it to them? Personalized notes are priceless. You know, um, and this sort of piggybacks off of the letters that you can send snail mail. But I used to put little notes in their backpacks when they would go home. Little notes that say, "I love you," "I care about you," "I had a wonderful time this weekend. I can't wait to see you again." Just whatever would come to mind, something special that we did, I'd make sure I write it down and make sure, we had a ball, and put a little smiley face on there. It's something that while they're going through their stuff, they'd be like, "What is this?" And then they look at it, and what are they going to do? They're going to smile, they're going to laugh, and they're going to think of who, right? They're going to think of dad, they're going to think of what you guys did over the weekend and how much fun you had or whatever it may be. But it's something that I think is priceless because it works. It works. It keeps you on their mind, and that's what it's all about. Seeing the big picture. Um, you know, like I said, I had went through a huge custody battle, and I lost, and I lost, and for the first 2 or 3 months, it was horrible. Because I just felt as though what she was doing, I felt I can do a better job. I felt that I can do a better job, but when I say see the big picture, about a year later, my oldest son, called me up and said, "Dad, I want to move out. I want to move. I want to live with you." And like I said, when he said it, it's fun. It's funny because there's one thing to say that you want your kids as a father. It's one thing to say that, "Oh, I want my sons. I want my sons to live with me." It's another thing for them actually to say, "I want to live with you," and you have to get ready for that. And it was a beautiful thing. My oldest son came. My oldest son came and he lived with me, and it was one of the greatest things ever. So when I say see the big picture, right now you might be going through some stuff, some bad stuff, some negative stuff, but understand that it's not going to always be this way, and that things happen, things change, relationships change, relationships get better. And this touches on the working relationship. They get better. So right now things might be bad. There might be stress. There might be the arguing and the fighting. But things eventually are going to get better. They have to. They have to. And it's your job to work towards that. And that's what I did. I got to a point where um, I just got to a point where the arguing just was senseless. You know, And I made up my mind that I said, I'm not going to argue about silly stuff anymore. I'm going to develop my relationship with my kids, develop my relationship with my kids. I'm going to develop this working relationship with my ex-wife, and I'm going to make things work out. You know, um, not bitter anymore. The relationship is over. I'm not bitter anymore. So it's time to stop the fighting and the arguing. Now, this doesn't happen overnight. And if anybody tells you that it happens overnight, they're lying to you. I'm telling you, it doesn't happen overnight. It took time, but eventually you have to see that this is what you need to work towards. And for the record, my youngest son also ended up coming to live with me, and like I said, it was a beautiful thing. And I'm not saying that this is going to happen to everyone out there, but it could. It could. So be ready for it. And last but not least, number 10, digital photos are great. All of my screensavers, my phones, my iPad, all of that stuff need, needs to have your son's picture on it. You and your son should be on your screensaver. You and your son should be on your iPad. Picture of you and your son should be on your cell phone. These are the things that kids look at. You don't think they're looking at it, but they look at it and they say to dads, Dad loves me, Dad loves me. And then that is a beautiful thing. So, take the time to, let's say you're picking the kids up on Friday, take the time on Thursday to make sure the car picture, your dream car picture, remove that and put a picture of your son on there so that when he comes over, he can see that and he can say, oh man, Dad's thinking about me. Dad's thinking about me. My goodness, this guy is too much, this guy is just too much. So, like I said, thank you guys so much. You know what? Let's summarize before we go. Let's just summarize some of the things that we talked about. And in addition to this video, I'm also going to send you guys a free infographic that kind of sums up everything that we talked about. It's something that you can put on your iPhone, something you can put on your iPad, your computer. My gift to you. So, like I said, let's do a summary of everything here. Getting to know your child's teacher. I think that's kind of self-explanatory. One of the most important points, I think, here to date. Why? Because kids do better when dads are involved. Kids do better. The confidence, self-esteem, they just do all around better if you are involved. Attend the special events. Work harder at developing a working relationship. Understand that this takes time, but it has to be something that is in the back of your mind that you need to work towards. Technology is wonderful, so is a personalized letter. Time is more important than being a bank for your child. Hug your child like there's no tomorrow. I do that every time you see them. Don't wait until you're about to leave. You just hug them. Hug them. Say the words, I love you. They need to hear it from you. Don't assume that they already know it. They need to hear it. Personalized notes are priceless. Hide a little note in there that says, son, I had a wonderful time. Sweetheart, I had a wonderful time. I love you. I care about you. You are so smart. Things like that. Imagine opening up your briefcase and you see something that says, you are the greatest. How is that going to make you feel? It's the same thing. Your kids are going to feel great about it. So why not do it? See the big picture. You never know what the future holds. You never know what the future holds. So, work on developing that working relationship with the mother of your child. Work on saying things like "I love you" and all of that. And you just never know what the future holds. So see the big picture. Digital photos are great. Like I said, make sure that your son's pictures and your daughter's pictures are filled to capacity. They should be on your screensavers. They should be on your cell phone. They should be on your iPad. All of that stuff. All of that stuff is great. They need to see that. And that's it. Oh, I have something that is wonderful that I'm working on, and I hope to have it out in 2015. It's a magazine entitled Fatherhood Defined, and it's a new magazine. It's my new baby that I'm working on, and I hope that, like I said, I hope to have it out in 2015. It's going to be packed with insightful tips on fathering. This magazine is something that I haven't seen out there. I haven't seen something dedicated, specifically geared towards fathers. And, I'm excited about it because I think that it will add value and it will help dads, to have something I'll have the electronic version, but as well, I do want, and I know that it's a dying breed, but I do want that tangible magazine. So I don't know how long I'll be able to keep the magazine actually going. I'm definitely going to do the electronic version, but I do want to have an actual magazine that's tangible that I can hand to you, and you can look through it and fan through it, have it on the train and all of that. Like I said, I am looking forward to it. As a pic of it, is a sort of a pic of what it's going to look like. And I hope that I can get you guys to support it and subscribe to it and get a subscription. That's in the near future. Something, like I said, something I'm working on. And also, I just hope you guys, give me your comments. Like I said, I know I might have went a little long today, but give me your comments. If you'd like me to shorten the videos, I will shorten them. If you don't mind, if you think they're just perfect the way they are, hey, there's always the pause button. There's always the space bar button that you can pause it and check it out at a later time. You don't have to check it all out at the same time. But at the same note, I would love your feedback on what you think, if you like it, if you love it, and if it adds value. Like I said, I got some other videos that I'm going to do. I'm going to do one on procrastination, and I think will help our dads. And I'm going to also do one on child support, on how I got through it and what I did, and some of the little tips that I have to give you to get through it. And I know it's difficult, but like I said, there's something that we have to do as fathers, especially fathers who are not together anymore with the mother of their child. Child support is important, and it's something that we have to learn more about, get a little bit more knowledge on it, and not get caught in those traps, that are out there. So, with that said, once again, I want to thank you guys for signing up, and I look forward to talking to you again in the future. I'm going to have some other videos out there for you, and at Fixing Fathers, we live to laugh, we live to learn, we live to love our children and learn how to love our children much better each and every day. I thank you so much for stopping by, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.